Αλλά δεν ήμουν να μην ξανακατεύω μαζί σου, γιατί θεωρούσα ότι τώρα είμαστε ακόμα κοντά να την πάρουμε. Και σώθηκαν.
So can anybody hear us?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, very well. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Could we just try to play our video once, because we are not sure, we had some problems with the technique.
Δεν ξέρω αν είναι το μικρόφωνο.
Πρέπει να επιλέξεις το μικρόφωνο. Άνοιξε και το μικρόφωνο.
Ναι, ένα-δύο. Δεν ακουγόμαστε.
Για άνοιξε δίπλα το βελάκι.
Εδώ.
Εκεί, που είσαι.
Ακουγόμαστε, ναι, παιδιά. Ποιος θα
Λοιπόν, για πες μου τώρα, με ακούς από... γιατί τώρα με ακούς τηλεφωνικά, με ακούς και από το... εντάξει.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello, Nicholas. How are you?
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Samila.
How are you doing?
Fine, fine. We are ready to start our event. So thank you so much for joining us today.
It's a
great day for UNESCO Global Geoparks and the Global Geoparks Network as we celebrate the new candidates that joining our UNESCO Global Geopark recently. And I have the great honor to introduce to all the colleagues
fantastic.
the Assistant Director General of UNESCO, Samila Nair Beduel, who is going to give us an introductory welcome speech. Thank you so much, dear Samila, for being with us today, for joining this event, which is so important for all the UNESCO Global Geoparks. This day, one day before the celebration of the Earth Day 2022, we are very happy to welcome the new members with your presence. And please, Samila, you have the floor.
Oh, Nicholas, a great pleasure to see you again. And good afternoon, good morning to all of you, dear colleagues. I bring you greetings from UNESCO headquarters in Paris. It's a great pity we have not been able to welcome you in person. I regret that. But I'm sure Nicolas, Guy Martini, and all the other colleagues present here today will be able to bring you back to UNESCO in the near future. So, Excellencies, dear colleagues, dear participants, dear geoscientists, dear friends of the Geoparks, welcome to all of you, dear ambassadors, dear delegations. It's really a great pleasure to address you here today, and an honor for me to welcome all of you to and especially the 8 newcomers to join the UNESCO Global Geoparks and this event. I want to thank my colleagues, Christoph van den Berg, Özlem, Marilou Faber, and all the others who are also present here today for enabling us to meet online like this. Thank you very much. Thank you, Nicolas. Thank you for being with us. And I want to send my congratulations to all the 8 new global geoparks for having obtained this unique denomination in the United Nations system. You may all be aware that UNESCO is the only organization among the UN agencies that valorizes our natural resources and our earth sciences. But without you, this would not be possible. So once again, I thank you all from UNESCO for, according to UNESCO, this is such an important denomination of hosting this global network of geoparks. I know that this has been a challenging period. We've not been able to meet each other. Even the on-site visits have been challenged, but I'm sure, and I want to recognize and thank you all very much for your participation. I think my network is just failing somehow. Sorry for that, apologies. But I want to thank you for really valorizing the UNESCO geoparks, which are more than just places of exceptional geological heritage, geological value, but they're also places where the locals join forces with the citizens across the world, with scientists across the world, with visitors, with governments, with private enterprises, not only to protect the unique geodiversity and landscapes, but to learn more about the interconnections between people and Mother Earth, but also between geodiversity, biodiversity, our cultural heritage, our home that we call Mother Earth. But these are places where people also connect to pass on our values around and our knowledge around our common shared values. So we are very happy at UNESCO that we managed to stay connected, and I'm very happy to see that we will meet again in the future. But let me sincerely thank the Global Geoparks Network, its president, Nicolas Zouros, for your support to UNESCO, your support to the networks. I do hope we'll be able to extend these networks to the small island developing states, also to Africa, and to the Arab states, so that everyone can benefit from your exceptional expertise. I want to sincerely thank Guy Martini, who is with us here online as well, who is the chairperson of the UNESCO Global Geoparks Council. This is the ultimate guardian of our standards. And we in the United Nations and UNESCO are recognized for this geological value and standards for Mother Earth. And we need to promote our standards as we celebrate International Day for Mother Earth tomorrow. This is an excellent example of raising the standards to protect Mother Earth. Now, I do hope that this event will be not just for today, but for always, because Mother Earth is with us constantly. And while I want to welcome the new Geoparks, I want to tell you what a challenge lays ahead of us. And this is not something that's going to happen from one day to the next. It's something which is passed on to generations. And this exceptional knowledge of our geological heritage, our geodiversity, and our interconnections with Mother Earth must be passed on in the spirit of intergenerational solidarity. So we need to empower our youth that they would want to protect and live in harmony with nature. And one way of doing that is via your networks in promoting the youth to understand better the earth sciences. So I'm very happy that I can count on the UNESCO Global Geoparks to join us in this effort, because during all of these events, the Climate Change Summit, the upcoming Ocean Conference, the Biodiversity Summit, the International Day for Biodiversity, and as we're moving towards the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals, let me wish you once again good luck in all your work, in your deliberations. My sincere congratulations to our new Geoparks and all those who are already existing. Thank you for joining us here today. I do hope you will be able to twine and team up with other countries that they could benefit from your exceptional expertise. Warm welcome to all of you. Congratulations, and looking forward to working with you in the near future. Thank you all once again, and bravo for joining the network. But there are many others who'd like to experience from you and join you as well. Thank you very much, Nicholas. Thank you to Christoph and the team. Thank you.
Thank you. Many thanks to Samila Nair Beduel, the Assistant Director General of UNESCO, for opening this exceptional day, for opening this exceptional meeting organized by UNESCO Global Geopark and UNESCO team and the Global Geoparks Network for the welcome of the new members of UNESCO. Dear Samila, you know that only through close collaboration, working together, we achieved in a few years this great network, which is continuously growing, and we all work towards the expansion of this network, exceptionally for Africa, for Arab states, for the small developing countries, island countries, because we really work towards the equitable geographical expansion of this network. We feel it as a duty, and be sure that we will continue, all of us, all the members of the global network will continuously support UNESCO and working with the UNESCO team, with Christoph, with all the members of this team for having a stronger and more effective network. Thank you so much for your kind participation, your kind works, and your encouragement to continue raising the flag of the Geoparks worldwide. Because as you said, this is our duty for our planet, for our Mother Earth. We need to reconnect with our planet, to hear our planet, and feel that without our planet, we cannot survive. So thank you so much for being with us today. And now I would like just to say a few more sentences in the name of the Executive Board of the Global Geoparks Network, because this network was always a core principle for UNESCO Global Geoparks. We cannot work unless we are all together. So this event that welcomes the 8 new members of the network is the 3rd time that is organized we organized this event due to the pandemic and the difficulties to meet all together as we did in the past. But we hope that this tradition will continue, and we will have also the opportunity, as already Samila said, to meet all together. Networking till now strongly contributes to the success of the Geoparks movement and plays a valuable role in facilitating the sharing of experience, the quality management of geopark territories, the formation of joint initiatives and projects, and especially the capacity building activities which we jointly organize with UNESCO in the frame of this network in order to improve, to be more effective, to improve our way of operation, and mainly to support the people, the local communities all around the globe, wishing to participate in this broad network under UNESCO in order to improve using our heritage in reality, the life of the people living in these exceptional territories with such a strong heritage. So I would like also in the name of the Global Geoparks Network to welcome the new territories and expand our wishes not only to the 8 new territories, but to all the 177 UNESCO Global Geoparks lying in 46 countries. And we are extremely happy to welcome 2 new countries in our network, Sweden and Luxembourg. So in the name of the Global Geoparks Network, I would like to thank you all for your participation, and I would like to give the floor to the chair of the UNESCO Global Geoparks Council, Dr. Guy Martini, for his greeting results. Please, Guy, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Nicola. Hello, everybody. So happy to be with you now. So, dear Shamila, very dear Shamila, thank you very much for your presence, for your support, your kind words. Dear Christophe, dear Nicola, dear colleagues and friends. So, on behalf of the UNESCO Global Geopark Council, I am extremely proud to be with you in this great event. And I would like to warmly welcome our new colleagues, these 8 new UNESCO geoparks in Europe and in South America. This welcoming digital event takes place on the eve of a special United Nations date, the International Mother Earth Day, a date which should be very symbolic for all the geoparks in the world. We are the UNESCO Geoparks, parks of Geo, Gaia, Ge. And as you know, this was the Earth divinity in the Greek mythology, the Mother Earth. We are territories in which we are weaving new connections between the time of the Earth, its geology, with the time of human society, and thus to prepare a better and sustainable future. The mission and work of the UNESCO Geopark is a true challenge, and much more in this so specific moment. A specific moment with this post-COVID time, where we need to think on a different way, building a new world, the world after, and not simply coming back in the world before COVID. A specific moment with this incredible and unacceptable war in Ukraine at the European doors. And also a specific moment with the very last IPCC report, which shows, one time more, that greenhouse gas emissions continue to rise and that current plans to address climate change are obviously not ambitious enough. A few time ago, a friend from South America was asking me, Guy, don't you think that all which is happening on the Earth could mean that Mother Earth, Pachamama, is saying us that she is very, very tired with us? More than ever, UNESCO Geoparks need to work in solidarity. They need to be united between them as well as with their population, defending strongly their indigenous people which can live there, teaching the time of the earth and its movement and transformation, sharing the local population knowledge and practices often endangered. In a word, we need to have in our UNESCO Geopark a local population proud to live here and with dream and will to build a different future. But more than that, we need to see clearly that our main fight, our main combat should be through actions and adapted strategies for climate change mitigation and education. It's only through all this action and through this awareness that we will really deserve to be UNESCO Geoparks, the new territory of the 21st century. So one congratulation again for our 8 new UNESCO Geopark, a good welcoming digital event, and a happy International Mother Earth Day to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Guy, for
Thank
your
you.
inspiring speech. And permit me now to give the floor to Christoph Vanderberger, the Chief of the UNESCO Earth Sciences and Geopark Section and UNESCO Global Geopark Secretariat, who is a very important figure for the work that has been done all these years, and especially for all the procedure for the introduction of the nomination of the 8 new geoparks in the UNESCO Global Geoparks. So please, dear Christoph, you have the floor.
Thank you
1
very
minute,
much.
please. Yeah, Christoph, may I please? 1 minute?
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you, Christoph.
Please.
Nicolas, Guy Martini, new geoparks, old geoparks. My humble apologies to you. I'm actually in another meeting, and the meeting is called Structured Financing Dialogue, where I'm going to present ambitious projects of the science sector to potential donors. One of the projects that I will be defending in the next couple of minutes will be valorizing geodiversity in Africa, small island developing states, and certain Arab states, where I'm requesting funding from donors to help us to extend these geoparks to other countries. Christoph and his team have put together a very ambitious project. I will be defending this project among other projects, and my sincere apologies. I will try to join you later, but I have quite a tough discussions to start now, and you've given me much motivation and energy. I thank you very, very much, and I wish you good deliberations. Christoph, I'm really so sorry. Dear colleagues, I'm so sorry, but I will join the structured financing dialogue now, and hopefully we will get some good news for you, for your geoparks, and for your future partners in the world. So let's all protect Mother Earth. As Guy said, there's a calling, and there's a calling from Mother Earth. And I think you have already risen to that call. Please make sure other people join you in this call and your efforts. Thank you very much. Congratulations. And I'm sorry I need to leave you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nicolas, Christoph, Guy, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Özlem.
Thank you so much.
ADG.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Good luck. I need it. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much, Nicolas, as well for the introduction, and Guy for opening the stage here. I think you hammered the nail on the head. I think it's exactly where we find ourselves here, UNESCO and GGN on common ground. But let me maybe first start by welcoming as well the 8 newcomers and congratulating you. I think it's a fantastic feat. It's amazing that you've made it all the way here, because I know as well how challenging the last years have been. And we've seen as well how challenging it's been to prepare a good application file in COVID times. I know how many hours and discussions you've put into this with government officials, with your local communities, with scientists, and all this under very, very complicated circumstances. I think just one of the figures that comes to mind, there were actually 18 applications this year, only 8 made it. And I think that just shows how complicated it is to work under these COVID circumstances. But a very warm welcome and congratulations again. You're one of the 177 now, 177 in 46 countries. And as Nicolas said, the network is expanding fast. The ADG alluded to it as well already, but COVID has complicated the matter somewhat, but I'm very happy to see that the situation is gradually improving in most of the world, at least in many parts of the world. Next week, we will meet with the European Geoparks Network meeting. Other regional networks are planning and preparing meetings as well. And so I think this is a very positive sign. I'm also aware that many of the colleagues here connected from China, amongst others, Japan, Korea, are still living under more complicated circumstances. And I hope that for them as well, the situation improves soon and that we find better circumstances to meet again and to actually physically work together. We ourselves try to adapt ourselves as well over the last months and years, and many of you were part of that. We've tried to stay connected, but we've also seen that you have been very innovative, and we've been trying to support these initiatives. You've tried to serve your communities in alternative manners. You've tried to reach out to your students in different ways. You've found different ways of visiting the geoparks, and together with GGN, we've been trying to support those efforts as good as possible. And I think one very positive sign from all this is that as soon as lockdown was lifted, or at least in between 2 lockdown periods, you saw people actually, as soon as they could leave their houses, as soon as they could leave their places, they moved back to the geoparks, they visited geoparks. And actually there have been unprecedented visits to the geoparks, which shows actually how much people realize now how interconnected they are, how connected they are with nature, and how much they need to connect with nature again. And I think that's a very positive trend. I hope it is a trend to stay, but we've seen a rise in domestic tourism, and I hope that this is something that we'll see in the near future as well. It could certainly help to compensate somewhat for the losses and for the complicated period that many of our geoparks have gone through. I would like to make a very quick reference as well to International Mother Earth Day. I think the ADG Shamila made reference to it, but Guy as well. I think it's very important. It's very symbolic that we're organizing this event during such an important day. It touches on so many things, and I think here even, and I think the rest of the world is no different. But when we're struggling sometimes to grab the complexities of the challenges that are facing us, from climate change, a better water management, how do we protect our ecosystems, and at the same time, we need more earth resources. How do we reconcile all this? And on top of this, now we get a pandemic, and these challenges are so complex that sometimes we're a little bit paralyzed. We don't know exactly how to tackle it. And even here in an organization like UNESCO, which has such a large mandate, and we have specialists on education, we have specialists on water management, we have ocean scientists, we have ecosystem specialists. And even within that context, we sometimes are a little bit, how would I say, taken aback by the difficulty of approaching these challenges, and how do we attain these sustainable development goals that we've set ourselves. And I think in that sense, in that moment, it is very important that we're looking at our UNESCO Global Geoparks, because in one way, you are actually showing on a daily basis how you put these things into practice, sometimes on a very small scale, with little means, but just with this very strong connection with the community. You show actually, and you inspire others, how we can bit by bit, step by step, work on these big challenges. And I totally underscribe what Guy mentioned there. I think there's an important task here put away for UNESCO together with GGN in support of the UNESCO Global Geoparks. How do we work on these projects? How do we work on the implementation of the SDGs? And how can we do this together rather than each one on its own little island? So I think that's something that we here at UNESCO certainly will work harder on. I'm also happy to see here that we're investing so much in these youth networks, and I'm happy to see that there are already a lot of spin-offs actually of this global Geoparks youth network in the Latin American countries and Latin American Geoparks, for example. There's a very, very dynamic drive, and I see it in other countries happening as well. So I think this is definitely very important to make sure that we can meaningfully engage with our youth networks, and I hope that the 8 newcomers pick that up as well, because I think that's certainly something where we can work together. For the rest, I think we will have more time to go into more details, but just know that together with GGN, even the last years, we have managed to keep on training, promoting the concept, and Shamila alluded to it, but we're into something very interesting with African sites, with sites in the Arab states. We engaged now as well in something similar in the SIDS, and I'm very happy to see actually what's coming from this exercise that we're doing together with GGN. I'm referring here to this UNESCO GGN grant. I think for now we can already see that it has provoked an interest, and it has trickled some projects in the field. And I would like to thank here all the geoparks that are connected, because many of you are involved in this process, and it's thanks to your expertise, it's thanks to the time that you dedicate to this, that this is becoming a success. Maybe if I just may, and I think it may be interesting just to explain a little bit where we stand now, because many will wonder in terms of missions, upcoming missions, and how do we handle this under COVID circumstances. Just to say that right now we are facing 114 outstanding missions. Now, for the 8 newcomers, that's not really relevant for you because you have that process behind you. But for the other geoparks that are connected here, know that we're working on this. We are already organizing 40 of them that we would like to get done before the summertime. 3 of them are done already. And let me seize this opportunity to thank here all the evaluators, all the experts. Some of them, most of them are from Geoparks and are probably connected here. I know as well that many of you have done 1, 2, 3, up till 5 missions over the last weeks, over the last months. We don't take this for granted. We know how much time and effort this takes from you, and this is really greatly appreciated. I hope that the 8 new geoparks, that we can count on you as well in supporting all these initiatives that we mentioned here in this opening statement. Nicholas, Guy, I would like to end here. Let me thank you again for the great support. As you said, it's a great teamwork, and I hope that we can continue on that momentum. Let me congratulate again the 8 newcomers, and wish you a warm welcome in the Geoparks family. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Christophe, for your kind words. Before we go on, I would like just to note that we are in the Zoom platform, more than 100 participants, but the meeting is also transmitting through YouTube, where we have many more participants participating in this online event organized for the welcoming of the new 8 new geoparks. So all the geoparks community, together the members of the executive board of the GGN and the members of the UNESCO Global Geoparks Council, together with UNESCO team, together with all the members of the Global Geoparks Network, all the representatives of the UNESCO Global Geoparks are here to welcome the 8 new members of this great network. Looking at the screen with the list of the participants, I would like to say that among us are the other members of the executive board of the GGN, the Vice President Xin Shaoxi from China, the Vice President Ibrahim Como from Malaysia, our General Secretary Guy Martini, our Treasurer Christine Ragnes, and of course the members of the Executive Board, Driss Ahbal from Morocco, Melanie Border from United Kingdom, John Calder from Canada, Marie-Louise Frey from Germany, Kana Furusawa from Japan, Artur Sa from Portugal, and Xiamping Zhang from China. All the members of the executive board, together with all the other colleagues, member of the advisory committee of the Global Geoparks Network. Together with us is also Elizabeth Silva, the chair of the advisory committee. Many of the presidents of the national committees of Geoparks, delegations, representatives of delegations. We are really very happy of this broad representation that we have in this event, and thank you all so much for your participation. Permit me at that stage to say a few more words regarding the Global Geoparks Network. The Global Geoparks Network is a non-profit and non-governmental organization which from today has 177 members in 46 countries. It was initially founded in 2004 as an international partnership developed under the umbrella of UNESCO and was officially registered as an association in 2014, subjecting to the French law. The Global Geoparks Network is the official partner of the UNESCO for the operation of the UNESCO Global Geoparks. Networking and collaboration among the geoparks is the important component of the functioning of the UNESCO Global Geoparks. And the Global Geoparks Network promotes networking at all levels, at the global level, at the regional level, at the national level, and at the global network level. Because networking and collaboration and exchange is essential for the improvement of our work. Our objectives in the Global Geoparks Network is, of course, to promote equitable geographical establishment and development and the professional management of the global geoparks. And for this reason, we develop, in collaboration with UNESCO, a variety of capacity building activities. Our goal is to advance knowledge and understanding of the nature and function, and of course, the role of the UNESCO Global Geopark in safeguarding, protecting our geological heritage, and supporting our local communities in the 177 UNESCO Global Geopark to get benefit from this unique heritage hosted by our territories. We also work with the local communities to value not only the geological, but in total, their natural and cultural heritage, both tangible and intangible, and to ensure the sustainable socio-economic and cultural development based on the natural system, the system of our planet Earth. We also work to foster multicultural links between heritage and conservation and the maintenance of geological and cultural diversity using participatory schemes of partnership and management. And we work also to stimulate research when appropriate and to promote joint initiatives between global geoparks worldwide. For this reason, we also try to support our regional networks, our ASEAN and Pacific Geoparks network, our European Geoparks network, our Latin America and Caribbean Geoparks network, our African Geoparks network, and of course, our North American Geoparks network. We want to expand and to represent all the areas of the globe which is not so well represented in our network. And we organize a variety of events, not only for capacity building, but also for improving understanding and communication between geoparks. We organized the International Geoparks Conference. The last one was in Jeju in Korea, and the next one will be organized in 2023 in Morocco. We also ask you to participate in the Regional Geopark Conference. And this year we have the Regional Geoparks Conference of the ASEAN and Pacific Geoparks Network, which will be hosted in Satun, and also the European Geoparks Conference, which will be hosted in Sesia Valgrande UNESCO Global Geoparks in Italy. We work for the development of geoconservation techniques, for geotourism development, for geoeducation initiatives, and for management and of all the activities at the global and regional level. This is the power of our geoparks, the power of networking. So we would like to welcome you to this great network, and we hope that all together, the 177 geoparks will continue raising the flag of this network. Thank you so much for your participation and being together with us today. And now let's welcome the first of the 8 geoparks. We go on for the presentation of Buzău land from Romania. Dear colleagues, you have the floor.
Hi, and thank you. I hope you all hear and see me. My name is Răzvan Popa. I'm the manager of the Buzău land UNESCO Global Geopark. We are very happy and honored to be here today. Thank you for welcoming us in the Geoparks network and for giving us this vote of confidence. Also, we'd like to congratulate the other geoparks which have made it. Before presenting the territory, I would like to introduce Mr. Petre Emanuel Neagu, the president of the Buzău County Council, who is the highest political authority in our region. He would like to say a few words, which we will then translate. Mr. President, you have the floor.
Bună ziua!
Hello.
Este o onoare deosebită pentru noi, toți locuitorii județului, să participăm la cel mai important eveniment din ultimii 30 de ani.
It's a great honor for us, all the people living in Buzău County, to participate in the greatest event that our county has seen in the past 30 years.
Nu pot să exprim în cuvinte bucuria celor 40.000 de locuitori din Geopark și a celor care au crezut și au muncit mai mult de 10 ani ca astăzi să fim Geopark UNESCO.
It's hard for me to express how happy almost 40,000 people living in the territory are, and the amount of work that has been put for this project in more than 10 years.
Aici, la noi, la Consiliul Județean,
here at the County Council,
sunt reprezentanții Geoparcului, sunt reprezentanții societății civile, sunt reprezentanții Asociației Geoparcului, cetățeni, ONG-uri, care practic realizează că munca de mai mult de 10 ani astăzi a fost încununată cu succes și mulțumim la toți care s-au implicat în acest proiect.
Here at the County Council, we have representatives of the Geopark team, of the administration, of people living here, of the social community, civic community, and everybody who's here has understood that this is a great moment for us. It's the result of a lot of work, and for which we are very happy to be here and celebrate it.
Suntem conștienți și responsabili că mai avem mult de lucru împreună.
We know that there is still a lot of work to do, and we are here to collaborate and to keep on doing it.
Și de aici, de la Buzău, din sala Consiliului Județean, împreună cu toți care suntem aici, transmitem un zâmbet și felicitări și celor 7 geoparcuri, celelalte 7 geoparcuri care astăzi au intrat împreună cu noi în marea familie a geoparcurilor UNESCO.
Here from the council room of the county council, all of us would like to send you a warm smile and to congratulate the other 7 geoparks that have joined the network together with us.
Și de-abia așteptăm, că suntem în preajma sărbătorilor pascale a noastră a ortodoxilor, de săptămâna viitoare să ne apucăm iarăși de treabă. Încă o dată mulțumim și salutări de la Buzău.
We are very happy next week to continue all the hard work, as now we have a short Paschal break here in Romania. Warm greetings and see you all soon. Okay, so now I will share my screen for the presentation. I hope you're all seeing it. So, Buzău Land UNESCO Global Geopark is the result of a very long partnership. It's been more than almost 16 years of work. It's a partnership between Buzău Land NGO, the Buzău County Council, and the University of Bucharest, plus many entrepreneurs, teachers, people living there. We basically have all the spheres of the society included here. Buzău Land is a hilly and mountainous territory of about 1,036 square kilometers, which is located at the Carpathian Belt area in Romania, in Buzău County. It's a completely rural area, which is inhabited by approximately 40 to 45,000 people living in 169 villages in 18 large communities, or communes, as we call them here. From a geological point of view, Buzău Land is located close to the triple junction of 3 continental plates. And because of this, it's one of the most seismically and geodynamically active areas of the world, with plate convergence very much active today. Because of this plate convergence is our keyword. Because of this, we have a very rich geodiversity. We have salt domes with some of the longest and deepest salt caves in the world. We have mud volcanoes of different shapes and sizes, all active and bubbling. We have eternal flames, petroleum springs, a wide variety of mineralized water springs, tectonic features, of course, amber, which is 25 million years old, and we even have an endemic species of amber called rumenite, the only place in the world where we can find it. Lots of fossils, volcanic ash deposits, sandstone concretions, and many more. Now, if we speak about wildlife, again, plate convergence remains the key word because of this tectonic context, our landscape is very, very fragmented. And to this, we add all those peculiar geological elements, petroleum, salt, and so on, which together have led to the development of at least 77 different habitats. We have a lot of plant and animal species which are endemic, many which are rare or even threatened. We have all the big 4 large European predators, and overall it's one of the wildest areas in Romania. Our cultural heritage has also been strongly influenced by, of course, plate convergence, plate tectonics. It's my favorite word today. For the very same reason, we have a very fragmented landscape, which was more or less isolated, and it has attracted people throughout the area, people who migrated and looked for shelter, and they all brought pieces of their culture here. And because being isolated more or less, that culture has conserved for us to enjoy today. So in addition to the rural landscape with its people and with its customs, we also see traces of this, let's say, pieces of global heritage which we have accumulated here. For example, traces left by the Anatolians who came here in late antiquity, later in the medieval times by Germanic people, even by Asian Mongolians who came here. And then Romania, Buzău Land was located and is located more or less at the border of the 3 medieval Romanian states, and it has taken bits of all those cultures. Our main asset, I think, is the interaction between earth and people, how people has used the natural resources in tangible and intangible ways. How they use stone, how they used salt, pickles, lots of pickles here because of salt. You name it, we have it. How they used, for example, oil to power mills. So not just water and windmills, but fire mills too. And amber, which is very, very closely connected to a lot of local traditions. And then we have the stories. We have stories with dragons and ogres to explain why we have mud volcanoes. We have stories with spirits to explain why we have eternal flames or sandstone concretions, and we can keep going on. But for now, I would like to thank you for welcoming us again. Thank you for having us here. We hope to see you, lots of you soon in Buzoland and to collaborate. And as a small gift from us, we will invite you to right now for a musical live event for which we go back to the council chamber. Thank you very much.
Dear UNESCO family, today we will present you 3 ancient music instruments from our territory. Mr. Cristian Micu is one of the 2 remaining bagpipers from Buzoland and will play for you today, assisted by his niece. The first instrument, called buchum, was used by the villagers to spread the news from one hill to another. And now we're spreading the good news for Buzoland UNESCO Geopark. The second instrument, called kaval, was used by the shepherds when playing a song called doina, when they were longing for their home, their wife, or their village. Doina is now part of the UNESCO intangible heritage. The third instrument we call chimpoi, but it's the bagpipe that you can find all the way from the Balkans to Scandinavia. We use it here during our parties to dance and enjoy life. So let's hear now to Cristian Micu.
I would like to thank all the authorities, the local authorities, the community, all the colleagues in Buzauland, UNESCO Global Geoparks, and of course the musicians that gave us such a wonderful music performance of your great tradition. Thank you so much for joining the Global Geoparks Network, and once again, warm congratulations. And now we are going to pass from Romania to Greece, and I would like to welcome the Kefalonia Ithaka UNESCO Global Geopark. We have the president of the NECA organization, Professor Maria Papadopoulou, who is going to take the floor.
Thank you, friends, Geopark friends. I would like to congratulate for this great opportunity that they gave us. The Kefalonia Ithaka Geopark is the 7th Greek geopark that enters into the UNESCO Global Geopark Network, and in the Natural Environment and Climate Change Agency, we're very pleased and happy for that. NECA is the responsible agency to fund and coordinate all the activities held in the Greek UNESCO geoparks. The inclusion of our new geopark in the UNESCO family is a great opportunity for the global promotion and exploitation of the Kefalonia Ithaka region with respect to the geological history and the protection of local biodiversity and geodiversity. I want to express my gratitude to everybody that worked really hard to create a successful, a very well justified nomination, and we are looking forward to work with them towards this direction. And I'm pretty sure that in your next assembly, more nominations from Greece will be presented. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Papadopoulou. And now I will give the floor to Mr. Stavros Travlos, who is the governor of Cephalonia Ithaka Islands.
Dear colleges of Global Geopark Network, as a governor of Kefalonia and Ithaka Islands, two islands that belongs to Ionian Island region, and as a representative of the local community, I welcome you all to the Kefalonia Ithaka UNESCO Global Geopark. First of all, I would like to congratulate UNESCO and the Global Geopark Network for organizing today's event to celebrate the nomination of 8 new UNESCO Global Geoparks. I would like also to express my deepest gratitude for allowing us to become members of the Global Geopark Network community. Finally, I also take this opportunity to warmly thank the GGN for this assistance, the evaluators, our stakeholders, and of course the local community for being so supportive, as this nomination has been the result of consistent work. The prefecture of Ionian Islands, as well the local community, will always be there to support the Geopark. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Travlos, for your greeting speech. And now, Mr. George Drakatos, the representative of the Advisory Board of Cephalonia Ithaka Geopark. Mr. Drakatos. Please unmute your microphone.
Yes, excuse me. Yes, okay, good evening. Dear colleagues of the Global Geopark Network, dear officers of UNESCO Global Geopark, dear friends from all over the world, I'm speaking on behalf of the Advisory Board of Kefalonia Ithaka Geopark. First of all, let us say that we are really very excited and incredibly grateful to be one of the new members of the UNESCO Global Geopark community. Kefalonia and Ithaka Geopark is an island complex located at the Ionian Sea at the western borderline of Greece. The Geopark was established on October 2016 and since then has been operating and developing. Each area covers almost 3,000 square kilometers, the 1/3 of them on land. The region is characterized first from intense tectonic activity and second from intense karstification. As a result, the region exhibits very high seismicity, the highest in Greece and one of the highest in all over Europe. Therefore, the visitors of the Geopark can visit a wide variety of geological features. This geological heritage is, of course, accompanied by a very interesting biodiversity. Finally, the islands of Kefalonia and Ithaca have a very long history and a very rich cultural heritage. It is actually the homeland of Ulysses, of Odysseus, and the visitors can visit archaeological sites, historical monuments, churches, etc. So I would like to welcome you to your first visit in our Geopark. Thank you very much.
Warm congratulations also to all the authorities and all the colleagues in Kefalonia, Ithaca, UNESCO Global Geopark from Greece. And now we move on to the welcoming greeting by the European Geoparks Network and its coordinator, Dr. Kristin Ragnes from Norway. Kristin, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Nicholas. Thank you, President. It's a great honor, and it's a great pleasure for me as coordinator of the European Geoparks Network to welcome you, all new members of the Global Geoparks Network, and as the status with UNESCO Global Geoparks. I think this must be the most popular event, at least for me personally, to greet new colleagues. We are going to welcome new colleagues from 8 geoparks, 6 of them in Europe and 2 of them in Brazil. And it's also an additional pleasure and with great happiness I see that we even can join 2 more countries into our network. I am delighted to see all the presentations. I'm looking forward to see more of the geoparks, and it's a commitment to become geopark. It's not only becoming a geopark; it is participating in network, and I'm really looking forward to meet all of you during conferences, during meetings, to see your participation, to see how our networks grow, to learn from you, to share ideas. So just on behalf of the European Geoparks Network, thank you so much for joining us. And I'm really happy and looking forward to see you. Congratulations with your new status. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Christine, for the European Geoparks Network. And now we go to another new geopark, but also to a new country. Let's welcome Mellerdal from Luxembourg. So it's a new country joining the UNESCO Global Geoparks. And I would like to ask the director of the Geopark, Dr. Claude Petit, for the presentation.
Good afternoon. Can you hear us well?
Yes,
Great.
Perfectly.
Thank you very much, Nicholas, for introducing us. And thank you so much for all the warm greetings. Good afternoon from Luxembourg. I'm here with my colleague, Birgit Kausch, who is our geoscientist, and our whole team follows the event on YouTube. This is a very exciting moment for us. We are so proud to become a member of the UNESCO Global Geopark family. As you can see on the map on the left side, our geopark is located in the heart of Europe, in the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg. The map on the right side shows our country and the Möllerdal colored in orange. Our geopark stretches from the center of the country to its eastern border to Germany. Our closest neighbors are the UNESCO Global Geoparks Vulkaneifel and Vermenner Dam, and our driving away. The Möllerdal comprises 11 member municipalities with 26,000 inhabitants and an area in total of 256 square kilometers, which makes it one of the smaller geoparks in one of the smallest countries on the world. Möllerdal originally is the name of a small hamlet, and it literally means Valley of the Millers, as there were many mills along our creeks and rivers. Our story begins round about 245 million years ago in a sea, when countless particles of sand and others were deposited and solidified into rock. The sea disappeared and rivers shaped the remarkable rocky landscape of the Möllerdal. This wonderful landscape shows a great variety of fantastic sedimentary and weathering structures. The sandstone unit is...
Sorry, Claude, sorry for the interruption.
Yeah?
You have not shared your full screen. I'm sorry for that.
Okay.
Please remember sharing the screen and then full screen. Sorry.
Excuse me.
Stop sharing.
Yeah, one moment. I have to stop sharing.
And then screen share. Yes.
Oops. I think I have to stop again. Wait a moment. Sorry. Okay. Okay, you can go to the next slide and to the next, and then. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, the sandstone unit is up to 100 meters thick and forms one of the most spectacular and impressive sandstone landscapes of Western Europe. Literally, the rocks are the foundation of our cultural landscape with a unique heritage. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Our region has a long touristic tradition. This picturesque bridge called Schießentümpel is one example of the early touristic developments in the 19th century, showing well the strong connection between our geological, natural, and cultural heritage. Next slide, please. This connection is reflected at many places, as for example in this artificial cave, a former millstone quarry. Next slide, please. And this link continues with our medieval castles located on rocky promontories. Next slide, please. Water was not only important to make the mills turn, our geology also allows our region to be self-sufficient in drinking water supply. Next slide, please. And regional products are for sure one of the most pleasant ways to discover a region. And its heritage, they reflect also well our holistic and multidisciplinary approach, combining culture, economics, landscape, and so much more. And we are happy that we already could participate in the IGCP project about geofood with so many other geoparks. Next slide, please. Our regional identity is strengthened by our intangible heritage. Just to give you two examples, we have the hopping procession of Eschenach being on the UNESCO list of intangible cultural heritage, and we are promoting the art of dry stone walling. Next slide, please. To put it in a nutshell, our mission is about sustainability, heritage, and people. And we pursue these goals with all our partners through activities in three main fields: discovery, projects, and advice. Next slide, please. Discovery is about information and awareness raising for local and global issues and for broad audience, as for example, reading a children's book about dry stone walls for children. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Projects are always about concrete implementations, as for example, planting fruit trees to preserve our traditional orchards. And on the next slide, please. Advice means that we offer a wide range of services for inhabitants, municipalities, regional producers, farmers, and businesses. Next slide, please. Thinking globally and locally, we are very keen to learn from other geoparks and to bring in our experiences. UNESCO Global Geoparks strive to build a secure and more resilient future, and we sincerely hope to make our contribution. Welcome to the Möllerdal, and thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation of Mellerdal UNESCO Global Geopark, and welcome to our family. Thank you so much for joining us. And now we will pass to the welcome greeting of the coordinator of the ASEAN Pacific Geoparks Network, Professor Jin Shaoxi from China. Professor Shaoxi, you have the floor.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nicholas. Dear Geopark colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, today we are gathering online to welcome 8 new UNESCO Global Geoparks. This celebration is a great comfort for us because as the COVID-19 pandemic is still affecting our normal life. In the last 2 years, we have been endeavoring to sustain our work of UNESCO Global Geoparks. It was finally possible in the summer of 2021 to carry out evaluation and revalidation missions to a batch of early opened up countries. These missions primarily brought about the birth of the 8 new UNESCO Global Geoparks, which we are now happily welcoming. Of these geoparks, 2 are from South America and 6 from Europe. Also, Luxembourg and Sweden, for the first time, have their own UNESCO Global Geoparks. Congratulations. We understand that all these geoparks have made great efforts on improving their territories in various aspects. According to the requirements of UNESCO Global Geoparks, I'm very happy to say your efforts are fruitful. At this moment, ladies and gentlemen, we dare not forget the unsung heroes who undertook the evaluation and revalidation missions to the freshly opened up countries. Many of our evaluators undertook more than 2 missions. They overcame various difficulties and they sacrificed a lot to get the duty fulfilled. Salute to all the evaluators and the UGGP Bureau. At this occasion, we are quite relieved and encouraged because we see that the work of UNESCO Global Geoparks progresses in a steady way. And UNESCO Global Geoparks are of great resilience. And to all this, we have contributed. The Asian Pacific Geoparks Network now has 66 UNESCO Global Geoparks, distributing in a wide geographic region, and with diversified geological heritage, biological heritage, cultural and historical heritage. Due to the affection of the COVID-19 pandemic, evaluation missions were not able to be conducted in the Asian Pacific region in 2021. The welcome celebration here is a lucky sun for us. We hope some evaluation and revalidation missions would be realized in this year in the Asian Pacific region when the situation becomes better. Finally, I wish all the new UNESCO Global Geoparks more success in the future. Many thanks.
Thank you, dear Shaoxi, dear coordinator of the Asia Pacific Geoparks Network. And now we are going to another new geopark and to another country. Let's welcome Platon Berger from Sweden. And I will give the floor to Anna Bergen, the geoscientist and geopark manager of the new Swedish UNESCO Global Geoparks.
Thank you, and thank you very much for welcoming us into the Global Geoparks Network. We are very excited to be Sweden's first UNESCO Global Geopark. And we are with you today live from a small studio in the middle of the Table Mountain landscape in the Geopark area. And I will start by give a presentation of our Geopark before we move on to the live music. So you can start the slideshow for my presentation. Millions of years of geological events have shaped what we today refer to as the Table Mountain region, Platåbergslandskapet in Swedish. It's a landscape known for its spectacular cliffs, large quarries, royal moose, dancing cranes, hovering gliders, blossoming mountains, Christian Vikings, megalithic tombs, millstones, gold treasures, and a vibrant outdoor life. And here you find Sweden's first UNESCO Global Geopark, Platåbergens Geopark. The geopark is located between Sweden's two largest lakes, Vänern and Vättern. Simply put, the area consists of the Västgöta Plain and the 15 table mountains that frame it. There is no doubt that the region is a special one. Bon vivants and outdoor enthusiasts of all periods have been captivated by the beautiful landscape. Dignitaries like Carl Linné and polar explorer S.A. André were fascinated and amazed by the region's biology and geology. And one need not to know all the scientific reasons to why the Table Mountain region is unique in order to be captivated by it. It is enough to just be here, to breathe, and to open your eyes. The Table Mountain region is yours to experience, whether you want to go hiking, mountain biking, bird watching, paddling, gliding, riding, skiing, walking in snowshoes, or simply have a coffee or enjoy the flowers in springtime. There is room for both quiet and kicks here. And you will always be close to powerful nature experiences, thanks to a number of characteristic landscape types. The peneplain, the basement rock surface, with its flat, bare cliffs, is Sweden's oldest preserved landscape type. And the tables of the Table Mountains offer coniferous forests, large bogs, and breathtaking vistas. On the slopes below the spectacular screes, you will find lush woodland, old oak meadows, flowering alkaline fens, and wet alder cars. Below the mountains, the Västgöta Plain stretches out with its fertile soils, shallow floodplain lakes, and well-preserved cultural landscapes. The region also contains the so-called Kame landscape, with its characteristic rolling hills, ridges, and small lakes. But a varying landscape does not only offer powerful nature experiences. The fertile plain was a perfect place for people to settle after the last ice age. A civilization soon emerged, as evidenced by the many megalithic tombs constructed from large blocks of stone around 5,000 years ago. The use of stone as a building material continued, and from medieval times we have stone churches, monasteries, castles, keeps, and simpler dwellings. Many still stand, while some are now in ruins. It is no wonder that some of Sweden's most interesting historical discoveries have been made here in the Table Mountain region. The area has also proved to have been more important in the Christianization of Sweden than was previously known. And the Table Mountain region is full of traces showing how stone became a livelihood. The history of the stone industry can be seen in many places in the region, as there are plenty of remains from quarries, lime kilns, millstone mines, and oil shale works. Visitors can also get a view from stone workers' lives, thanks to the popular working life museums of the regions. And the Table Mountain region has changed very slowly from prehistoric times to today, but throughout history, it has brought quality of life to humans as well as to animals and plants. Since the landscape formed, people of all periods have made their mark on it. What was once present day is today regarded as valuable cultural and industrial history. And all of this combined creates a selection of destinations like no other. So welcome to some truly great experiences in a unique landscape shaped by time. Welcome to Sweden's first UNESCO Global Geopark, Platåbergens Geopark. And I will now hand over the microphone to our local artist, Gaia, who will present herself.
Hello, my name is Gaia, and Gaia is the meaning of the earth. It's the name of the earth. And we chose that name because we, as musicians, as creators, believe that we together are creating this earth. And we also want to bring back the contact with nature. We will now sing you a song, our own song. It's called Time for the Change. And we really believe that this is the time where the change will happen, and it's together that we will make it happen.
Silence of steps left echoing a long time ago. Strangers were passing it all just to get to the show. Minute by minute, our hearts were screaming for a sign. While nature's still breathing, I know we can still turn around. I see the trees growing wild and free, bursting out for eternity. Follow the tide for the change to come, while the birds sing a song that will never end. Minutes of steps echoing a long time ago. Strangers were passing it all just to get to the show. Minute by minute, our hearts were screaming for a sign. While nature's still breathing, I know we can still turn around. I see the trees growing wild and free, bursting out for eternity. Follow the tide for the change to come, while the birds sing the song that will never end.
Congratulations and welcome to the Global Geoparks Network, to the UNESCO Global Geoparks. We are very pleased for welcome you in this network. And now we will move to the welcome greeting by the African UNESCO Global Geoparks Network. And I would like to give the floor to my colleague Driss Ahbal from Morocco, who is to the coordinator of the African UNESCO Global Geoparks Network. Driss, you have the floor.
Thank you, Nicolas. Thank you, everyone. I'm happy to be with you today in this event to welcome digital event for the 8th new Geopark. Yesterday, we were 169 Geopark constituted in the international family of UNESCO Geoparks. Today, we are 177, a family that continue to grow on solid foundation, which aim at the protection of natural resources, the protection of the environment, sustainable development in its broad dimension, which make human beings slowly responsible for the preservation of their material and immaterial heritage for future generation. I'm very happy for the 8 new UNESCO Global Geopark. I wish them a quick integration into our GGN network, and I hope to meet them in Marrakesh next year during the 10th International Conference Geopark in Marrakesh, in Morocco. At the same time, I'm very sad not to have new geopark in Africa and in the Arab world. The UNESCO African Geopark Network, composed of the 2 geoparks of Morocco and Tanzania, continue to accompany the project that aspiring to be geopark of UNESCO in Africa, in the Arab states. Only in Morocco, we support 5 projects, including 3 projects likely to become UGGP. In parallel with Grant for Africa, launched last year by UNESCO and the Global Geopark Network, 24 projects were presented, on which 4 were selected to benefit from the technical support of UNESCO. This year, we hope to have more projects, and we must all together continue to support the African continent, which is very rich in its natural and cultural values, very rich in its touristic and floristics and sporting potential, but which unfortunately continue to suffer from flagrant social and territorial disparities. Our duty to continue to sensitize local government and regional authorities to adopt the concept of territorial development based on geoparks. Our Mgon Geopark management model remain a very successful model, which will try to share with others. Once again, congratulations on the new geoparks. And the end, I wish you much success, and we look forward to meeting you in the beautiful city of Marrakesh in 2023. Thank you.
Thank you, Driss, for your welcome speech. And now we are going to another UNESCO Global Geopark. We go to Germany and to the Ries UNESCO Global Geopark. And I would like to ask Ms. Heike Burkhardt, the Managing Director of the Geopark, to take the floor for the presentation. Please unmute your microphone.
Nicolas, can I share my desk?
Yes, yes.
No. Jetzt geht's wieder gerne mal da oben.
Do you want us to make the presentation?
No, it's
No, it's okay. It's okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your kind introduction, Nicolas. Hello, everybody, and congratulations to all new Geoparks. The Geopark Greece team is very, very happy and glad and proud to be now a UNESCO Global Geopark. Many thanks also to the entire UNESCO network, the UNESCO Secretary in Paris, the GGN Secretary in Lesbos, the Executive Board, the Geopark Council, and our National Commission. Thank you very much as well to the Geopark team, to our members, partners, our local community in our Geopark Greece who did a great, great job. Thanks at all. A few words just about the location and the geology of our Geopark Greece. We are located in Europe, in southern Germany, and more than 80% are in the state of Bavaria. We have a unique landscape because it's created by a cosmic event. So we are Europe's best preserved impact crater and best educational example of an impact crater. The impact was about 15 million years ago. An asteroid with 1,000 meters in diameter made a hole. Now in this days, you can see a 25 kilometers hole in the landscape. And the Geopark combines the crater and the ejector blanket you see in red colors on our geological map. This is here you see the crater rim from an aerial view. We are also proud with our type localities such as the Suevite, our Swabian stones, the Bunte breccia, and we even have diamonds. In 1960, the NASA has found that the Reese is an impact crater, not caused by volcano. And so we have the second structure on Earth that was mentioned to be caused by a cosmic impact. Therefore, and since the Apollo missions, the Reese is a great playground, you can say, for the NASA and ESA astronauts and the impact scientists. And of these, a moon rock was given to our mayor of the city of Nördlingen, a Suevite from Apollo 16 mission. And you can see an original moon rock in our Reese Crater Museum in Nördlingen. The Geopark Reese is also important for the natural heritage. There is a very, very high biodiversity with a characteristical local flora as a result of the geological uniqueness. We have large juniper heaths and the river landscapes as important bird migration sites, for only these two examples for our natural heritage. The Reese crater is also a hotspot for settlement history of Central Europe. Traces of all stages of human history are found here, from the Paleolithic up to the Celtic and Roman periods. The soil in the crater basin is very fertile and is considered Bavaria's breadbasket. So we are proud of our project Geopark Reese Culinary. The first school to be nominated as a Geopark Reese school you will see later on in a video, and it lies on Kirchheim am Ries, and it's a primary school. We have actually 3 info centers and 6 info points in our regions, and 25 Geopark guides are active and booked often by visitors and inhabitants. And so in 2019, our Geopark tour guides received the Bavarian Homeland Award for their services to culture, and they were all very, very proud for this. Our visitors and our inhabitants can experience our Geopark in 30 geotopes along hiking trails and educational trails with 100 information boards, not only for the parents, but also for children. For our global responsibility, our club chairman and district administrator of the Donau-Ries district is the initiator of the 1000 Schools for Germany initiative. And actually he is in Tanzania. In this school construction projects are mainly realized on site in Africa with donations. Warm greetings from our district administrator, and thank you very much for listening to us, and congratulations to all new UNESCO Geoparks. Now you can start the video for us. Thank you.
So thank you so much for this wonderful performance and the great presentation of the Ries Geopark. Congratulations and welcome to the Geopark family. And now we are all very happy to see you all there. And we go now to the welcome greeting from North America. And I would like to ask my colleague John Calder from Canada to take the floor. John?
Thank you, Nicholas. And welcome everyone. It's so good to see you all, and I can't wait till we can all meet in person in Magoun in Morocco next year. So if you will permit me a little bit of humor, I will try to say welcome to you all in your language. It'll give you something to chuckle about, if nothing else. Binaci venit, benvindo, kalusi vede, velkommen, terava tuloa, willkommen, bienvenue, welcome. And in the language of the Mi'kmaq, on whose ancestral home I speak to you from, Chalasi. And if I may borrow from my Latina sisters and Latino brothers south of Canada in the Americas, un fuerte abrazo, a big hug, and welcome to the family that is Global Geoparks. And if I may, to our new Geoparks from the Americas, from Brazil, un grande abrazo. We have grown 8 times richer with you joining us today. Tomorrow, we celebrate Mother Earth Day. And when you look at an image of Earth from space, there are no country lines, no political boundaries. They're an invention of we humans. And so it is in our family of UNESCO Global Geoparks. There are no boundaries. And this is one of the things that makes Global Geoparks so fantastic in my mind. But what is amazing too is the cultural differences, the mosaic, the garden of flowers, if you like, that is our great global culture that's reflected in these Global Geoparks. So to you all, to you 8 wonderful new Geoparks, welcome from Canada. We will be your friends throughout, and we look forward to meeting you in person. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you so much for your welcoming, so nice welcome. And we move on to the next presentation of a new UNESCO Global Geopark. We go to Finland and to Salpausselkä, UNESCO Global Geopark. And I would like to ask the chairman of the board of directors of Lahden Seutu and Lanti region, Peter Gabrielsson, to have the floor. We cannot see. Dear Kathy, can you unmute your microphone because we cannot hear you?
Sorry, some computer got stuck somehow, but we are trying to share the screen.
Do you want us to share? Okay.
Is it okay now?
Yes, yes, great. Thank you.
Some technical problems. Always has to be something.
Well, dear all, UNESCO Global Geoparks family. I am Raija Forsman, the CEO of the regional tourist company, Lahti region, the organization in charge of the management of Salpausselkä Geopark. On the video, you saw the mayors representing the 6 municipalities of our geopark, and with me here is Kati Komulainen, the executive manager of Salpausselkä Geopark. On behalf of us all and of our wide cooperation network, I would like to express our gratitude to UNESCO and the wonderful Global Geopark family, which we are happy and proud to be part of. The UNESCO Global Geopark Secretariat and the UNESCO Global Geoparks Council and the Global Geoparks Network, thank you so much for your efforts to organize and carry out the field excursion evaluation during the difficult time of pandemic. I'll let Kati to introduce the Geopark territory to you.
Okay, our slides are not moving at the moment. All right. So, dear friends, thank you for the warm welcome that we have got this day to this unique network that we are joining. Our geopark is located in southern part of Finland, one of the Nordic countries. Our area can be reached in 1 hour from the capital city Helsinki and from the international airport. We are in the southernmost part of the Finnish lakeland, which is, as you can see from the map, full of lakes. The geopark area consists of 6 municipalities and is home to some 177,000 people, combining urban and rural areas. The biggest city, Lahti, has some 120,000 residents, while less than 3,000 people live in the smallest municipality, Padasjoki. So we have communities of different sizes working together. The key geological features of international significance are the outstanding glacier fluvial landforms. The massive Salpausselkä ice massa ridges represent the best known geological heritage of Finland. They and the narrow winding eskers consist mainly of gravel and sand transported and deposited by meltwater streams at the end of the last ice age. Hence the slogan, a landscape created by water. These landforms are also vitally important sources of water, as they provide us with abundant reserves of renewable groundwater. Water is also a central feature of the landscape, covering 21% of the surface area. There are over 800 lakes within the geopark. Underneath, there is a nearly 2 billion years old bedrock, which can be seen as impressive outcrops in many places, such as this. In the video, you got a glimpse of what this territory is like as a living environment. The easily accessible nature is near us, and we do enjoy spending time outdoors. We had a long winter, and when the video was filmed in March, the landscape was still totally covered with snow, also the lakes, which are still frozen. In this presentation, you'll see a bit of our other seasons. Thanks to the diverse Salpausselkä terrain, our main city Lahti is a scene of international sports events. The Nordic Ski World Championships have been held here 7 times, more often than anywhere else in the world. Lake Vesijärvi was severely polluted a few decades ago, but thanks to long-term commitment to saving it and the development of research-based methods, the lake has been restored. Päijänne National Park protects the valuable archipelago nature of Finland's second largest lake, which is also the main water source for over 1 million people in the capital region. Of course, being a UNESCO Global Geopark, we also have rich cultural heritage, which is in many ways connected to the geological heritage of the area. The first settlers came to the area already soon after the Ice Age, around 10,500 years ago. And our oldest settlement sites are among the oldest in Finland. Our heritage includes medieval stone churches, manor houses, city parks, and traditional farming landscapes. These landscapes are a source of ingredients for local foods and drinks, such as rye bread and sahti, representing our intangible heritage and the oldest beer tradition of the world. 2 key aspects of our work are sustainable travel development and education for sustainability. Both are being advanced with a wide cooperation network. Our musical contribution to this event is connected to our early childhood education program. This group was not available to perform at this time of the day, and they prefer singing outdoors in the nearby forest, where they get to spend time every day. So please enjoy a short video with children from the first official Salpausselkä Geopark kindergarten, Kanerva, singing their forest song. A big thank you to the Kanerva kindergarten staff and children, and to the organizers of this event, and all of you who are here with us today. We are looking forward to working with you and welcome you all to visit us.
Tanssimaan. Metsässä tuuli yllättää, käyn hetkeksi tanssimaan. Hetkemme on niin huoleton, tulkaa siis tanssimaan. Hetkemme on niin huoleton, tulkaa siis tanssimaan.
Thank you so much for this excellent presentation and the nice music from the children from Finland. Warm congratulations once again. And now we move from Finland and from Europe to Latin America, and I would like to ask for the welcome greeting by the Latin America and Caribbean Geoparks Network Coordinator, Eugenio Bidondo from Uruguay.
Hello, Nicolas.
Hello,
Good
Eugenio.
morning, good afternoon. Mr. Nicolas Soros, President of the UNESCO Global Geopark Network, Mr. Christophe Vandenberg, Head of the UNESCO Earth Sciences and Geohazards Rights Reduction Section. I greet you and all the friends present today in the ceremony, and especially the new UNESCO Global Geopark. From the Latin American and Caribbean Geopark Network, GEOLAC, it is a great honor to receive the 2 new Geopark members to our family today. I want to congratulate Seridó, UNESCO Global Geopark, and Canyons do Sul, UNESCO Global Geopark, for their well-deserved designation. The future challenges our network in handling are money, and you are will that a great part on them. I congratulate the Federative Republic of Brazil for this designation, since the 2 Geoparks are example for what a UNESCO Global Geopark means, supported by a great professional teams. It is not worse that the coordinators are women, and that is a very good example for Latin American and Caribbean regionals. And that's in the case of Seridó. It is a UGGP that is territorially linking for the Biosphera Reserve, highlighting the urgent need to cooperate and work together with the different components that use the UNESCO family: promotion, the sustainable development based on their heritage, cultural and natural value. What a way celebrates the near World Earth Day. Wow, I feel used with joy. Our commitment is to continue working hard to strengthen the training between the Geopark from the Geolag with the global ones. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Eugenio. And we move directly to the new UNESCO Global Geopark from Latin America, Seridó from Brazil. And I would like to ask the president of the Intermunicipal Public Consortium of Geopark Seridó, Mr. Odon Oliveira de Souza Jr., to take the floor. Yes, please.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Seridó Geopark presentation ceremony by UNESCO. It's a great pleasure for all of us to be part of this Geoparks network with worldwide recognition and valuable natural resources. Opening this presentation, we're going to listen to now the pronouncement from the president of the Consortium Geopark Seridó, Mr. Odon Oliveira de Souza Jr., greeting everyone in Portuguese, the original language of Global Seridó Geopark. Let's listen to him.
Estamos muito felizes, né, pela chancela internacional da UNESCO, né, ao Geoparque Seridó, que envolve o território, né, aqui de 6 municípios que fazem parte, né, da composição do consórcio Geoparque Seridó, que são Currais Novos, Acari, Lagoa Nova, Cerro Corá, Carnaúba dos Dantas e Parelhas. Somos um território, né, de características únicas no mundo. Geologia, vegetação e a cultura do nosso povo. Temos orgulho de ser um geoparque internacional da UNESCO, depois de 12 longos anos de muito trabalho coletivo. Quero agradecer a todos que estão aqui, sem citar os nomes, mas que estão conosco ao longo, né, dessa grande caminhada para a gente obter essa grande conquista. Professores, universidade, governos, guias turísticos, turismólogos, empresários, artesãos, artistas e músicos, gestores, parlamentares, preservadores ambientais, líderes comunitários, a imprensa e os profissionais técnicos também envolvidos. Somos um geoparque global, com muito orgulho e alegria. Viva o Geoparque Seridó do mundo!
Thanks, Mr. Oliveira, for your talk. He is thankful for everyone, every single person who has participated in forming this team of Geoparks Seridó. Now, we're going to listen to the Executive Director of the Geoparks Seridó, Ms. Janaína Medeiros.
Dear representatives of UNESCO, of the Global Geopark Network, Friend for Geopark, and the very own US attend this broadcast. Welcome, Geopark Seridó. It is with great joy that we are gathering to celebrate the recognition of your territory as a UNESCO Global Geopark. Here, the first work around the idea of a geopark in the outback of the Rio Grande do Norte state began in 2010. Along these 12 years of work, the population embraced the project, artisans integrated the art and anthropomorphs, their establishments. Otseng gastronomy gave is strong, and today we can finally say we are a global geopark. We are 6 municipalities: Acari, Carnaúba dos Dantas, Cerro Corá, Currais Novos, Lagoa Nova, and Parelhas, as long as of only 100,000 people live in a region surrounded by a unique and beautiful geological heritage of international relevance. We have one of the last shale mines in South America that has become a theme park for a very experiencing miner. We also have evidence of one of the most recent volcanism in South American platform. We all geopark rocks that are records of ancient peoples. We live here 10,000 years ago. I love Geopark Seridó.
Thank you, Ms. Medeiros, for your presentation. And now we're going to listen to the scientific coordinator of the Seridó Geopark, Mr. Marcos Nascimento.
Our landscape with mountains and plateaus is dressed in the Caatinga, and exclusively Brazilian biome that aeration or semi-arid region with fauna and flora to fill your eyes. And the unique places where we manage and partnerships with the population, research, tour guides, prepare to welcome everyone, always concerned with the protection of the nature. We are very proud of our land and our people, the Seridóense, and also of our nature, geological and biological, and the cultural heritage. Now, we would like to present you a video showcase a little bit of your territory and live here on invitation. Come, visit us and experience the Seridó Geopark. Thank you very much.
Na bolsa da memória, cada palmo de vida desse chão, cada choro de chuva no sertão, cada dedo marcado na história. Vou fazer da defesa a trajetória e sair pelo mundo divulgando tudo que conheci, apresentando nos recantos distantes dessa terra quem conhece o sertão de serra a serra.
Trago nas rimas do verso as riquezas desse pó, belezas desse universo que está ao nosso redor, pontos turísticos e outros mais, e os valores culturais das brenhas do Seridó.
Quem nasce nesse sertão é símbolo de resistência, mesmo com dificuldade enfrenta com persistência. Povo forte e calejado, chão duro, seco e rachado, é assim nossa existência.
Venha conhecer também o que temos de melhor. Um povo que valoriza cada gota de suor. Deus fez e nós chamamos de Geoparks Seridó.
Thanks, Mr. Nascimento, for your talk and for the video. And now we're going to have a cultural presentation with the trio of musicians called Odires.
Oi, som. Não posso respirar, não posso mais plantar. A terra tá morrendo, não dá mais pra plantar. Se plantar não nasce, se nascer não dá. Até pingada boa é difícil de encontrar. Não posso respirar, não posso mais plantar. A terra tá morrendo, não dá mais pra plantar. Se plantar não nasce, se nascer não dá. Até pingada boa é difícil de encontrar. Cadê a flor que tava aqui? Poluição comeu. O peixe que é do mar, poluição comeu. O verde onde é que tá? Poluição comeu. Nem Chico Mendes sobreviveu. Não posso respirar, não posso mais plantar. A terra tá morrendo, não dá mais pra plantar. Se plantar não nasce, se nascer não dá. Até pingada boa é difícil de encontrar. Não posso respirar, não posso mais plantar. A terra tá morrendo, não dá mais pra plantar. Se plantar não nasce, se nascer não dá. Até pingada boa é difícil de encontrar. Cadê a flor que tava aqui? Poluição comeu. O peixe que é do mar, poluição comeu. O verde onde é que tá? Poluição comeu, nem Chico Mendes sobreviveu. Cadê a flor que tava aqui? Poluição comeu. O peixe que é do mar, poluição comeu. O verde onde é que tá? Poluição comeu, nem Chico Mendes sobreviveu.
Thanks to Trio Odires for your performing. And now we finish here our presentation. So we invite the worldwide community to visit us and experience the beauties of the Seridó Geopark in Brazil. Thank you very much.
Warm congratulations to Seridó UNESCO Global Geopark and the strong community supporting this nomination. Thank you so much. And we remain to Brazil and we go to the next UNESCO Global Geopark. We go to Caminhos dos Canyons do Sul. And I would like to ask Mr. Carlos Souza, the Geopark president, for the presentation.
Thank you, Mr. President Nico Zoros. It was a great pleasure that we opened the doors of the Caminhos dos Canyons do Sul Geopark to the UNESCO Global Geoparks community and to the whole world. Firstly, we would like to give the floor to our president, Mr. Carlos Souza, who will give a short speech in Portuguese.
É com imensa alegria que celebramos hoje o título de Geoparque Mundial da UNESCO. Esta conquista é o resultado de uma trajetória de mais de 15 anos de trabalho. Estamos aqui representando a dedicação de muitas pessoas que sonharam com este momento. Celebramos a conquista de novas oportunidades para a nossa região. Comemoramos o poder da educação que transforma. Celebramos o conhecimento que desperta a importância da conservação. Celebramos o turismo sustentável. Seguimos lutando juntos, entregando o nosso melhor todos os dias, em prol do desenvolvimento dos caminhos dos cânions do Sul. Nosso geoparque está de portas abertas para um novo futuro. Comemore conosco. Este título é seu, este título é nosso. Muito obrigado.
The translation of President's speeches. It's a great pleasure that today we celebrate the title of UNESCO Global Geopark. Such accomplishment is the result of more than 15 years of work. We are here representing the dedication of many people who envision at this moment. We celebrate the achievement of new opportunities to our region. We celebrate the power of education that brings change. We celebrate the knowledge that promises the importance of conservation. We celebrate sustainable tourism. We know that it is only the beginning of another phase in your journey ahead of us, with plenty of hard work. Together, we keep on fighting, delivering our best every single day for the sustainable development of the Caminhos dos Canyons do Sul. Our geopark is open to a new future. You can celebrate. This title is also yours. And now, our introductory speech. We are very proud to be here at this moment, happy for all the work so far, and looking carefully at the new challenges that are proposed to us in our territory. The Caminhos dos Canyons do Sul Geopark is located in the southern region of Brazil between the states of Santa Catarina and Rio Grande do Sul. The territory includes 7 municipalities, totaling an area of 2,830 square kilometers and a population of just over 73,500 inhabitants. Caminhos dos Cânions do Sul Geopark geological history dates back to Paleozoic and includes Paraná Basin final stages of deposition, followed by the Gondwana supercontinent fragmentation. The relief type includes canyons development in the Serra Geral Formation escarpaments, as well as an extensive coastal plain as a result from the progressive recoil of the escarpaments of the Serra Geral Plateau. Nature is characterized by Atlantic forest biome, which the richest, considered to be the richest in terms of biodiversity in the whole world. The human occupation in the territory and the association economic activities is historically related to interactions between the native pre-Columbian people and the relief that they use the paleoburrow as a shelter. Within this context, the Geopark has activities aimed to geoconservation, tourism as a principle for sustainable economic development, science, culture, and education. Always thinking about how these activities will impact the local communities. It's also important to talk about these communities. The Geopark is theirs, made by them and for them. Within your territory, we have the presence of the Gaucho culture, Italian immigration, a Quilombola community, and indigenous people from the Guarani community in Uporã. Each one of these different origins of our people being valiantly recognized within the formation of identity of the Caminhos dos Cânions do Sul Geopark. We would like to thank everyone who has composed the work carried out so far. The community of the territory that is increasingly engaged in this initiative, the authorities of the state's governments, the federal authorities of Brazil, all the most varied partners that we found inside and outside our territory, and especially to the 176 Geoparks friends who are here and who are inspiration for our growth. Just as we want to be inspiration for aspirants who will be our next companions among UNESCO Global Geoparks. Thank you very much. Now, we'll make a cultural presentation referring to traditional Gaucho culture. Abra gaita, gaiteiro!
Eu vim pra contar a história de um tatu que já morreu, passando muito trabalho por esse mundo de Deus. Anda, roda, o tatu é meu, voltinha no meio, o tatu é teu. Anda, roda, o tatu é meu, voltinha no meio, o tatu é teu. O tatu é bicho manso, nunca mordeu a ninguém. Só deu uma dentadinha na perninha do seu bem. Anda, roda o tatu da roça, moça bonita da perna grossa. Anda, roda o tatu da roça, moça bonita da perna grossa. O tatu subiu a serra com fama de laçador. Bota laço, tira laço, volta a pé a luz de amor. Anda, roda o tatu, não cansa o sapateado que é bom pra dançar. Anda, roda o tatu, não cansa o sapateado que é bom pra dançar. Eu vim pra contar a história de um tatu que já morreu, passando muito trabalho por esse mundo de Deus. Anda, roda, o tatu é meu, voltinha no meio, o tatu é teu. Anda, roda, o tatu contato é teu.
Thank you, everyone.
Warm welcome from all of us to Geopark Caminhos dos Caños do Sul from Brazil. And I think at that point we have concluded with the presentation of the 8 new UNESCO Global Geoparks. We are all very, very glad to receive all of you in the global community of the UNESCO Global Geoparks and in the Global Geoparks Network. We would like, before to close, to give you some more information regarding the latest activities of the Global Geoparks Network. We have already updated the Global Geoparks Network map, which will be available from today from the Global Geoparks Network website. So you can download the new map with the 177 UNESCO Global Geoparks, and at the cover of this guide, you can see the photos of the 8 new nominations. Another point that we would like to share is that is already ready by the GGN Secretariat, the new welcome guide. It's a document which is updated with the latest news of GGN, and it's available for all the new UNESCO Global Geoparks and of course all the members of the network. The new welcome guide for UNESCO Global Geopark is also available from the Global Geoparks Network. Finally, we would like to share with you a new initiative, which is the Global Geoparks Network Film Festival. As you know, videos from all the UNESCO Global Geoparks have been presented during the first film festival of the Global Geoparks in Jeju Island in Korea. All these films presenting the UNESCO Global Geoparks are available at this website, and we are inviting all the UNESCO Global Geoparks and especially the new members to use this video, organizing events at your territories to show the richness of our global network through the videos from the UNESCO Global Geoparks Film Festival website. So please use this material at events organized during the next months at your own geopark in order to present the other members of the network. And in this way, we will have the opportunity to share the beauty, the natural beauty, but also the immense geological heritage and the sites of the Global Geoparks Network. Last but not least, the GGN will use its pages in the internet, the Global Geoparks Network, the Global Geoparks Network website, from which you can see also the promotional website that we have recently launched, but also you can get all the information. And also please visit the Global Geoparks Network page in Facebook, in the social media, where you can also learn a lot of activities. The latest post in this Facebook page refers to today's event and to all the news that you had today. This is really a great day, and tomorrow we will all celebrate the International Day of the Earth, which is also a unique opportunity to share with the people in our territories about the activities of the UNESCO Global Geoparks and the Global Geoparks Network. So thanks once again for your participation. According to the schedule, we are going to have 2 or 3 minutes for any question. So please, if you want to have any question, in the chat, the Secretariat has already uploaded the new map and the guide, the welcome guide for the UNESCO Global Geoparks, the new UNESCO Global Geoparks. So please download these documents for your reference and for using them for your everyday event. Any question? I don't see any question. So at this point, I would like to give the floor to Christophe van der Berger, the Chief of UNESCO Earth Sciences and Geopark Section, for his final comments before we close this meeting. Christophe, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Nicholas. I didn't want to have it specifically the last word, but if I have the last words, let me use them to thank you as well for setting up this event. And Guy and Ilias and Constantina, I know how much work you've done behind the screens for making this a success. And I certainly would like to thank as well the 8 teams behind the new Geoparks for all these wonderful events. It was really, really great to see the diversity, the geological diversity, but also your cultural diversity, your traditions, your songs. I think it was really heartwarming. I know that some of you will probably wonder when you will receive the certificate. I can tell you that it will be sent in the next coming days together with the letter. And in that letter, we will also explain how you can use the logo, because I understand that that's a recurrent question that you have. So please count on this. It is with the Director General for signature, but we will send it as soon as we can. I mean, I just want to close by thanking you once again, by congratulating you once again for the great work done, and wishing you all the best for the next weeks and the next months. And I wish you all the best as well for the events, because I know that some of you, many of you will set up events as well for International Mother Earth Day tomorrow. And let me also wish a happy Orthodox and Easter for those who are looking forward to for a long weekend, Nicholas amongst others, but I know that there is more. So thanks again, everyone for the great event, for the great afternoon here in Europe, but morning and evening. Thanks for staying connected for those to those who are much further away from here than we are. So thanks again for the great event, and all the best. See you.
Thank you, Christophe, for your closing remarks. In the name of the Global Geoparks Network, I would like to thank all of you. I would like to thank the chair and the members of the UNESCO Global Geopark Council. Of course, I would like to thank all the members of the executive board of the Global Geoparks Network that are supporting the event. I would like to thank mostly the 8 new teams. All of you, you are part of our network. We need your energy, we need your enthusiasm, we need your great ideas. We have seen wonderful things today. Thank you so much for your presentation. Thank you so much for your music events. Thank you for your strength to achieve this great achievement. to become new members of the UNESCO Global Geoparks, of the Global Geoparks Network. We wish you all every success. Warm congratulations again. And we are waiting all of you in our activities. We want you to be very, very active. We are sure that you will be very active. Thank you so much for joining this network. Thank you all for being active members and supporters and raising the flag of the Global Geoparks worldwide. Together, we will win. Together, we will manage to support all our local communities, using our geological heritage to support all the people who need this support. We work for a cohesive society. We work for the future of our planet. Together, we can do it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, all of you, Nikos.
Goodbye, my friends.
Bye. See you soon.
Thank you.
And congratulations for the old work done.
Goodbye, all. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bravo Arthur, bravo Nicolas, bravo tout le monde. Good job.
Goodbye and see you all soon.
It's a great pleasure to meet you.
So.
We had more than 300 participants in this event from both platforms, both in the platform of Zoom and in the platform of YouTube. So thank you so much for your participation. And you have seen that we were many more, including the representatives of the local communities from the 8 new UNESCO Global Geoparks. So thank you so much.